Hello, everybody. Since there's nobody here, whenever you get here, I'm back. A little late, but better late than never, for sure. Easy BT. Yo, buddy. Hey, good to see you, man. Watched your videos last week, I guess. I don't know if you've posted anymore. Saw the fish you made for me. Super cool. Super cool. Keep pushing forward, man. And someday, I promise you, and you cannot take this promise to the bank, but I will have a P.O. box. And that is not a guarantee. But, man, I appreciate it. Hey, Zach Bow, Autumn Lake, Dixie, Michelle, Paige Lies. Man, Paige, why are you lying to us? Hey, everybody. Blake, we got to figure out this video skipping thing. Is it already skipping? Guys, I don't know. This if it's too horrible, it may mean just no lives, because I have no idea what different to do. Just know that I'm in the north, and I'm going to blame it on that, although I'm sure there's some way to fix it. So I can only think it's the internet. So sorry, guys, if it's skipping terribly. I don't know. It is what it is at this point. I've minimized anything that's going on, so I just want it to be the video and the audio. I'm like, how minimal can I make this so it's not a problem? But anyways, I don't know. So anyways, today I wanted to talk about strongman stuff. I don't know if any of you guys are interested at all in strongman stuff, but I am. So I thought, hey, this will be a good topic to at least get us started here. And you guys can chime in as usual and with your thoughts, and we can totally change it up to whatever you want to talk about, because I'm here for less than an hour now because I started late. Sorry, but I got a hard out at 2 p.m. my time. Whatever time that is for you, I do not know. So anyways, I have been doing weightlifting for years now. And my issue, you guys may not have the same issue. My issue is I am wildly inconsistent with it. So I get to pretty much a very similar PR range of lifting weights, and then I lose focus and I stop doing it, I get busy, whatever it is. And it's happened so often now that it is just blindingly obvious that I'm just having a hard time pushing through the hard factor of it, which is embarrassing to say, because just doing something that hard is all you have to do is do it. And as you guys all know, I would hope, sometimes you just really can't talk yourself into doing it. And I don't know, I see that kind of as a mental weakness of my own that I want to improve. So I was like, listen, I had one of my buddies here that I got him interested and started weightlifting and strength training with him. And he is just far outstripping me in his numbers and everything. And at first I was like, this sucks. I'm super happy for him, of course, but I'm like, I am a little competitive, and so I want to get those numbers going up, and then at some range, it feels like, man, I got so long to go, and anyways, I don't know what the deal was. So I do know one thing that is super, super motivating for me, and it's a competition, and knowing that I'm going to show up in front of a bunch of people and have to perform in some way. I know we've talked about my jiu-jitsu in the past. That was part of that. And just historically with this, so I did a jiu-jitsu competition in 2023. I did terrible. I just signed up because I thought it'd be fun. I did really bad. I lost. It was a single elimination, but I was in an open weight class and a super heavyweight class, and I lost both my first rounds right off the get. I didn't get tapped out, so that's one bonus I could take from it, but I just performed really, really bad. I felt like I did not perform like I could have. It was a noob. It was bad. And it really, really impacted me. 2024, 1 year later, I come back, which was last year, and I win only one division. And again, this is not like me patting my own back. I'm not the greatest at this or anything, but I won my division. And what I found is I was so motivated after my loss the year prior that after the win this last year, that competition's coming up again. And I have I'm not even going to it for various reasons. The number one is it's really far away, and it's just a huge time suck, and I just want to do things local from here on out, because I'm not looking to be any crazy competitor or anything, or go big or pro with jiu-jitsu. So but my point is after winning, my motivation was basically zero this last year. So I was missing a lot more training sessions. I wasn't thinking about it as much in my off time. And in the training sessions, I might phone it in a lot more often. So anyways, I am looking for a jiu-jitsu equivalent as well, something local here for a competition, which I'm sure I can find. But the weight training in my mind is more important than being strong is more important than jiu-jitsu by itself. I think both are important. But if I was going to choose a priority, I would choose being strong. because it applies to so many aspects of your life, such as jiu-jitsu. If you do jiu-jitsu, you know that if you go against someone stronger than you, you've got a deficit that you've got to overcome with skill. So all of that to explain that, all right, I need a competition. I could go for a straight Olympic lift, like Olympic competition. Not Olympic, obviously. The Olympic lifts, powerlifting. Sorry, I could do a powerlifting meet or something like that, and just not as exciting. Doing the barbell lifts in my training and going out and doing them on stage would be like a motivator. But what I would much prefer to do is I've always, or for a very long time, had a love of the strongman competition. So that was a super long intro to why I signed up for a competition coming this June. And actually, I think I'm going to make a video out of it. It'll be much more succinct than this video, talking about what to expect. But I felt the need. This video is also part of my motivation. I felt the need to have some. I don't know, you guys. I don't know you guys personally, of course, beyond what we talk in the chat and on these videos and comment section. But it is a motivator for me to know that I've set it out there in the ether, and so I need to follow through on it. But if you don't know what a strongman competition is, I'll tell you a little bit. Let me look at these. Dropping down to 720p would help. Cubits 4. Okay, I'm gonna write it down because I don't know how to do it. I'm not the worst techie person in the world, to be honest. Like, I know what a lot of these things mean, but I just don't know how to do it right now. So I'll give that a shot. Jax the man, Blake the Triangle God. Yeah, I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd be here waiting for that jiu-jitsu talk, Jax. I have BJJ tonight, and we're doing 10-minute rounds. Any advice for not burning out? Jax, I'm a big fella. I don't know if you're a big fella, but I do burn out pretty quick, and that is one of my weaknesses. But I am pretty comfortable. I'm seldom under someone who's bigger than me. Like, it's not super common. So I don't know where your weight is, but I'm pretty comfortable in any position. Top position, of course, I prefer, and just smash and take time. Where I'm the worst and where I have to work the hardest is the standing game. So I have been known to try to expedite that. I hate pulling guard because it's got such a stigmatism with it. But sometimes I pull guard. Other times I let the person take me down because I don't mind having bottom position in most cases. But for conserving, it's pretty simple. You just got to stay chill. Stay chill. Breathe through your nose as much as you can. But that's 60 minutes of round. You're going to be gassed at the end. You should feel good if you're gassed. Like, what? I don't know how old you are. I'm getting older. Like, I think when I used to be like 145 pounds at 6'2", and if I was doing jiu-jitsu then, I would have been, besides not being strong enough, but I would have been freaking murderous, man. I would have been awesome if I had the skill at that time. I don't know. I think I'm a better jiu-jitsu now because of the strength, but as far as my cardio, I think I was unmatched on the old cardio. Leslie Marie, hey, my mama. Hello. Dana Rabe, hello from Michigan. Well, hello back to you from Alaska. Dana Rabe, my kids both did Brazilian jiu-jitsu for a while. Why'd they stop? They should do more. It should be a lifelong pursuit until you can't do it anymore. I think there is an age that some people hit, or a healthfulness that you hit. Hopefully you can extend that as long as possible, but jiu-jitsu has hurt me more than anything else I've done, I have to be honest. It's just the truth. Senior Spookfest, I challenge you to a wood chopping, tree chopping competition. Yes, that's another thing I watched just the other day. I was like, I got to get into this. I get too many hobbies, though. I was watching the steel wood chopping competition where they're chopping the wood in between their feet. They're using the saw and and using the huge saw. Shoom, shoom, shoom. I hope the visuals and the sound effects help you guys visualize that in your mind. But anyways, sorry, I got kind of droning on about stuff there, didn't I? I got caught in a loop talking about me. Good Lord. I love the wood stuff, but I'm not going to be doing that now. I've got other priorities in my life. Hey, Katie Geist, good to see you. Sylvia Jeffress, I live in 15. Well, no, don't. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's happening here? Get out of here. How do I block this guy or girl? Jax the man. I'm a big fella, in fact. 250 and 16. Holy smokes, Jax. Yeah, you're going to get, I don't know, I don't want to say this. Everyone's cardio is different. But I could see, I don't know, man. Just get freaking wore out. What do you worry about? It's not a competition. Do what you can. Tap as often as you need to. I think the worst feeling I have is when I don't give it my all. At the end, I think I kind of phoned it in. So try not to give up positions and stuff just because you're getting lazy. But when you get to a position, if you need the rest and you need the time, sometimes it helps you wear out the other opponent too. I'm talking like I know anything. Again, guys, I'm a blue belt. That's one step above a white belt. So I am just not doing much. My mom says I'm looking awfully handsome. Thanks, Mom. I need to hear that at least once a day to keep going with my life. Dana Rabe, I would love for my son to get back into it. He's 17 now, and he is super huge in Boy Scouts and about to get his Eagle Scout. That is awesome as well. I wish I had done that so much. I am using this YouTube channel, however, or I will be, I haven't as much, to become an Eagle Scout of sorts and learn more outdoorsy woodsman things and more Alaskan stuff. So that's awesome as well. Jiu-Jitsu is I don't know. I think everyone should lift heavy weights and do jiu-jitsu. I've said that a lot, but it's the truth. Hey, Tracy, good to see ya. Jacksman, facts, bro. Thank you. Yes, you're welcome. Like I know what I'm talking about. No, I don't know. Get roasted, man. Get roasted and don't worry about it. Losing, if you didn't hear my story before, losing's the best part. I learn way more from losing. I get way more competitive from losing. I remember a quote from, it's probably been used 100 times, but if you guys have ever watched the movie Moneyball, it's one of my favorite movies. It's a little slow. I watch it all the time. It's on, I fly Alaska Airlines, of course, and it's on their like service. So pretty much every time I fly, I end up watching Moneyball at least once because I just love it. Point of that story is, he says, I hate losing more than I like winning, and that is 100% true for me. That's not true for everybody, but the lose fuels me more than anything. So I'm almost looking forward to doing bad at this strongman competition because I know the next year, 2026, I'm gonna freaking roast. But who knows? Who knows how that'll go? I want to do as good as possible, so I don't want to throw things on purpose, of course. Senior Spookfest. I've chopped wood with with an axe my whole life. LOL. Have you ever watched the Scottish Games? So cool. I've never fought or wrestled, but love all sorts of competition. Well, Senior Spookfest, I have never watched in person the Scottish Games. I've seen blips of them online, and there is in Alaska, which I'm going to because I had no idea. I heard about it last year. I was like, how did I not know about this? It's like the World Championships for these Scottish Games. I don't know what it's called, but people come from all over the world to Alaska, which is really cool. So I am going to go do that, and I'll probably make a video out of that as well because I think it's so stinking cool. But yeah, anything like that, that's like the origin of strongman competitions is the Scottish strongman competitions. Michelle, getting big enough to need mods. I guess so. I don't know how that works either. So sorry about that, guys. Don't get offended too much. People saying what they want here. Zach Bow, click the name and ban or time out, or you can add people as mods. Okay, wait, let me go find this person and give it a shot. I've clicked the name. Alrighty. I don't want to add as a moderator. I can just hide. Is that what it is? Oh, you can just remove. I can remove it? I don't know. I'm going to hide. Oh, it's hidden. I don't know. All right, give that a shot. Alrighty. Privy Fickled, your progression at getting in sync with Cameron and Brandon's comedy throughout each video was crazy work, LOL. Yeah, so in the videos that you guys see on Cameron and Brandon's channels, they're all released out of order. Cameron, less so, I would say. His are pretty close to, he records them and then they get released pretty close, and same for my channel. Brandon, however, gets... I don't want to say backed out, but he has a lot of videos and they don't come out in order of when we film them. So the big Rage Room video that came out, that was one of my favorites for sure, just breaking stuff. That was either I wasn't my first. I think it was probably my second video I had done with Brandon and Cameron at all. I think it was the first one I had done with Cameron, if I can remember right. And yeah, it is... Like, and there was a few comments of people like, I feel bad for Blake. He looks like he's the third wheel. And it's like, I am 100% the third wheel between two best friends that have been doing this forever. I know I've talked about this before, but man, I'm just there having fun. I'm having a good time and trying to keep up where I can and get jokes in where I can. So I do feel like I'm getting better. And at the end of the day, I'm just kind of sinking into who I am because I'm not Brandon, I'm not Cameron, and I'm me, which is good. And I don't know what that means, but and a lot of practice on the humor stuff. Every little bit helps for sure. The array of this is awesome. My husband is an Eagle and the leader of the group. Oh, so cool. So cool. I'm legitimately jealous of Eagle Scouts. I don't know everything they do, but they just seem like cool humans. My buddy who lives here in town, who actually used to be the mayor of the borough here, he worked his way up. There's a glowing achievement for Eagle Scout. He was an Eagle Scout, and when I met him, he was telling me about all the stuff they'd done. I was like, oh my gosh, you just have, I don't know. I got to do more of that. I got to do more of it with my kids, because in some ways, I'm not aggravated at my parents, if mom's still watching. but I wish they had done more of it with me. Mostly my dad, because now that I've moved out, he's like started hunting and doing more outdoorsy stuff. I was like, why weren't you doing this when I was there? Maybe you were trying to feed the family. I don't know. Easy BD, I've been to Highland Games. Yeah, Highland Games. Thank you. That's what it's called. I think that's what's happening here. I don't want to misquote, but and it was insane. I even got to try some of the challenges. That is sweet. Oh man, I hope they let some people do that. Oh, okay. So I wanted to back up and talk about the strongman stuff just a little bit, guys. Don't worry. I'll be back in the chat. I'll be back. I'll be banning people left and right now that I figured out that power with this one finger. You guys cannot comment the rest of forever. At least on this live, I guess. I don't know how it works. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, sorry, I got distracted. The strongman stuff. So I was looking at the events. And the one, so if you don't know what strongman is, it's like powerlifting in a sense, but very, very different because they use weird implements. So what most people know strongman from is the big Atlas stones, which are the big stones that they lift off the ground and they put on a pedestal or they throw it over. Which if anybody watches Strongman, just show up in the chat here. I was just watching, was the latest one, was it the Rogue Invitational? No, it was the Arnold Strongman. Very good. By the way, the women's, man, I get distracted a lot. The women's Strongman is like exploding. Like I started watching whatever 3-4 years ago, and there were no... I don't want to say there were no women's competitions. I know there were like local, there was a bunch of women's competitions. I was not seeing like in my feed and stuff, a bunch of like national and worldwide women's competitions. And it seems like it's growing a ton. I'm enjoying that better. The numbers are lower as you would expect, but it feels like a really young sport. So seeing like these people come up and like world records just get broke, like basically every competition, a world record is getting broke. That's super fun. And then of course I have daughters, so watching it with them, they enjoy that much more. They still don't love it. But watching these big, strong women way outlift what I can do. And that's another motivating factor for me. It's like I gotta at least get to strong woman level, but these are still elite athletes. So if I ever did the lifts that they do, whatever they're deadlifting, like did they get up to 700? They were in the 6 for sure. I would love to hit 500. So anyways, very impressive. Oh, the competition. So it's just a little local one. Obviously, I'm not going pro or anything here. I don't think any of you guys were in any danger of thinking that. But they have really cool stuff coming up. So they have the axle overhead press, which is just like a big axle bar, which I'm like looking forward to. And I'm just like, if I can get one completed attempt on each of these things, I will be very, very happy, where I don't have to bow out and take no points. They're going to do the stones, which will be really cool. They're going to... Mom, you don't have to apologize. It's okay. You don't like going outdoors hardly at all, unless it's on the beach. But anyways, the stones, they're going to do... I was just telling somebody about this, but they're doing a carrying event. I can't remember the name now. I need to look at it. Basically, you have like a pole and a long pole, a pole in the ground, like a post, a long pole that comes off of that, and then you hold it in your arms, like the end of the pole, if that makes sense, and you would walk around in like a circle around the middle post. Does that all make... I've said pole and post quite a bit, but then they put weight. Of course, you see how far you can go. 550 pounds for the class that I'm looking at. I was like, I don't even know if I can hold that. I'm hoping so. It seems like I'm already standing up, so hopefully I could get a few steps in or something. And then, the most exciting one for me is the dump truck pull. So anyways, I'm looking forward to all those. Tracy Salgado, can you buy meats like elk, camel, beaver, llama, emu to try for a video? Every time I try to mention in the comment section on a video, it won't show up. That's strange. I'm writing it down. I actually do write these things down. I want you guys to know. I've got a pen. Game, meat, vid, EO. Here's the deal with... I know you can probably buy some farmed one. A lot of things can't be farmed, and you can't buy game meat. So that one may be hard. I don't know where I could buy them from. So it depends on the state or where you get them from. But like you can't, like up here at least, like if you shoot a moose, you can't sell the meat you get from it, like in a commercial sense. I'm sure it happens like, in a small local way. But I love that idea. I would love to do a lot more food stuff. Actually, I have a couple food things coming up with Brandon. Brandon hates the food videos, so I've kind of promised that I wouldn't do any more with him, although I love doing them with him for sure. And you guys seem to like watching it because those are the videos that do the best for me, or the eating ones for sure. But Anyways, Senior Spookfest, not an Eagle Scout or anything, but grew up in the woods in Maine, LOL. Sort of spent 2 weeks in the woods just fishing in a tent. See, I've never even done anything like that. Senior, you're the man. You're the man. I'm just out here like a pretend Alaskan. I have never even done a hike that takes, like, the longest hike I've done has been, I don't know, 6 miles or something. I don't even know if it's been that long. Like, it's just, I am so sheltered in some ways. I was like, I need to do more of these things. So anyways, but Easy BD, Strongman also do Hercules hold, where they hold the slabs, and that's crazy. Yes. Mark Felix. I think it's Mark Felix. Huge dude. His hands, holy smokes! I don't know how long. They're like 11 inches long, and I'm not even stretching the truth here. Just as massive hands. And the Hercules hold, you hold 2. Usually they're rolling handles, but I think they can be a bunch of different things. You're holding 2 handles, and you have 2 stone pillars that are leaned out, and of course they're pulling you apart. So you're just like holding it as long as you can. Looks really dope. It's quite the visual aesthetic. That's the other fun thing about the Strongman. I think they try to make these big, weird, I don't want to say silly, but almost silly lifts, but visually they just look great. Like they're lifting up half of cars, they're pulling dump trucks, all the things to make it visually appealing and if someone likes powerlifting, I'm sorry, the powerlifting I've just never been interested in, because you're doing the same lifts and it's just a different number. I'll watch some records being broken because I think that's cool, but anyways. Michelle, did you do a live where you talked more about your family? Did you do a live? A live where you talked more about your family? No, I don't know. Maybe I could do one. I won't talk about my kids much. I just don't want too much of them out there. But any adults, I'm happy to talk about. Ask away. Senior Spookfest looked into some new sports. There is one called Real Knights Fight. Guys in real armor using a real medieval weapons. It's crazy if you have never seen it. Is that like LARPing? Or they're not playing? They're actually hitting each other with armor? I feel like I've seen that. That'd be cool. Easy BD, Blake, what did you think about archery? Because I'm going to start doing it again this summer. Hey, well, I'm glad you brought that up. One of my past clients is a awesome hunter. Did I ever talk about this? I feel like I was talking about this. Maybe I talked about it on my last live, but I'm going to bring it up again, and that's going to happen a lot. So sorry for anybody who has to listen to it twice. He does a bunch of hunting. He has taken, I don't even know what he told me, hundreds of animals with his bow. And he is coming up in August to do caribou hunting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about this already. Oh, well. Coming up in August, and I've got to get my bow and stuff ready. Man, it's already been a week. Shoot. So I have done nothing on that yet, but I am excited to start shooting with a bow. Maybe that's why you're asking me, because I've already talked about this. But I do need to get the bow adjusted and everything and ready to go. I have been unbelievably busy, so even carving out this hour was a little bit tough, but gotta have some priorities here, people. What in the world? Cameron, I feel like you always go live at the worst time for me. Sorry. It's the best time for me, believe it or not. Tracy Salgado, I know a website, but it never shows up anytime I've tried to type it out. Yeah, I don't think you can send links in the chat, which I could understand why that is. I don't know, there's probably like some scam or something going on there, but it is exceedingly frustrating. You guys have tried to send me stuff, and I don't know, it's hard. I have had people go back to I do check pretty much every comment, Tracy. Was it Tracy I was talking to? Yeah, Tracy. I do check every comment at this point. I don't know how long I can sustain that, but if you put it in one of the comments of one of my videos and just give me some context, because I will forget this conversation, that would be helpful. I will see it eventually in the next day or two. Zach Bow, video idea challenge to see who can build the fastest campsite. Kind of keeps in with your outdoor stuff and gets Brandon and or Cam involved. Write it down. I have the longest list of ideas, but you know what? They don't all get made. I'm not saying that one won't, but I like it. I like it a lot. Fastest build campsite. I think like even just building a campfire, doing like little mini challenges would be kind of cool with that. You're building a campfire or making a little structure, and then yeah, it would in total be the campsite. So I love that idea. Senior Spookfest. All right, let me just move down here. Oh, big red curly hair. We started 17 minutes in from Ryland. Hello, Ryland. Is my sister actually there, or is it just Ryland? Is it Ross? because I think my sister's supposed to be working right now. Big red curly hair is my sis, if you guys didn't know. Senior Spookfest, it's no LARP, real weapons. That would be dope. I'd be worried about concussions. I've talked about this a lot. Concussions are always my concern with any combat thing. Excuse me. Erica, sup. I haven't said sup in a long time. That made me feel good. Mark Forsetti. It's so cool that you signed up to Strongman competition. I also really love the videos with you, Brandon Cameron. The trio is just so good. Greetings from Germany. Hey, awesome. I love seeing where you guys are from, so always put that in there. That's always interested me. Yeah, I'm excited about the Strongman thing. So, again, I'll probably make a video of it. I'll probably talk about it in lives again and just go for the progress and see what happens, and probably do a follow-up video the next year when I totally smoke everybody in the stinking competition. Not. The deal with strength is slow to gain, slow to lose. You can gain the first little bit pretty quick, but at a certain point, it's like every incremental thing is a little bit harder. I'm still like novice, so if I was willing to go up in weight, which I shouldn't say that, I am willing to get so heavy. I would love to be like 280 pounds of just beautiful muscle, slab of man. The eating is unbelievably tough. The working out is still like, again, I have my issues here, and I'm working on that, but the eating is even harder. Being consistently eating like 5,000 calories a day, I'm like gagging at the end of every meal. No thanks. Maybe someday I'll work up to it. But anyways, 230, 240 would be pretty sweet as a small term goal. I could catch up with Jax, 250. Man, you'd smoke me, Jax. I mean, I don't know. I'm not bad. It'd be cool if we could roll. I love seeing. All right, Easy BD went to an event and there were people pulling trains, and one of them was like a second or third place strongman in UK. Man, that is so awesome. I am really hopeful to see some cool strongmen at this Highland Games here locally. Like I said, it seems like a worldwide thing, so I'm excited. Big red curly hair, Sissy. If you could read one book for the rest of your life, what would it be? One book for the rest of my life. Can I pick a book series? My Life, My Rules. I think I would still pick Wheel of Time. If you guys are familiar with Wheel of Time, it is the greatest fantasy series as of yet. I did think the Stormlight Archive was going to take its place. I'm unsure if that's going to be the case. I still like Wheel of Time better. Stormlight Archive has not been completed yet. I'm getting real nerdy now. For any fantasy readers out there, you're just going to be loving this. But if anybody loves Wheel of Time, please tell me. Please tell me. I will talk about it all day. And we can commiserate about this sucky show. Unless you like the show, in which case, lay out your points really well, because I am willing to fight over this. The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. If you guys have watched it, not read the books, and you thought it sucked, that is not indicative of the books. Just not indicative, people. Not indicative. Hey, Lanix. Hey, Max. Good to see you, man. Senior Spookfest. Chop wood that always gets a lot of muscles going. Yep, chopping wood is a good little exercise. Tracy Salgado, it won't even show up here. I'm trying to typing in different so it'll show up. like typing out the dot and DOT or something. Cameron, I know it would be a bit of work, but could you set up some kind of Google form people could fill out specifically for your lives, or a dedicated live, a way people could send links and images or something? Write it down. Some of these things are going to get no action. These are my action items that may or may never get action. If you guys could see not only the amount of things I have on my to-do list, but the amount of separate to-do lists I have, you would be truly impressed. I will never catch up. And if I get close, I start adding more. But let me see. Google form for lives. Hey, John from Oklahoma. Good to see you. I used to be out in that neck of woods over there in Arkansas. Big red curly hair, you're always coming with the good questions here. Thai tea or caramel latte? Definitely a Thai tea. Come on. With that milky cream, when you mix in the Thai tea, way better. Katie Geist, my husband's fave author is Brando Sando. He has read every book at least 4 times. Holy smokes. Brandon Sanderson, if you guys didn't know, Brando Sando. Brandon Sanderson is so prolific. So that is a statement. He writes so much. I mean, I'm sure there are authors that do more. I just don't know of any. He's putting out books left and right, and they are long. His last one, the Stormlight Archive I was just talking about, book 5, I believe, was like, what was it? Wasn't it like 1,200 pages or something? It was his longest book, which is saying something because he has such long books. So reading them 4 times is crazy. I used to on the Stormlight Archive. I read the first book, and then when the second book came out, I would reread the first book, and then when the third book came out, I would reread the first 2 books, and I had to stop doing that at the third book. I think is when I stopped. But I kind of wish I had for the 5th one, and I don't know if you guys feel this with any series. The 5th book came out. I'm reading the 5th book, and I just didn't care for like the first half. And again, 1,200 pages. That's a 600-page book there that I read where I was like, I'm not really vested. And then I got in by the end, and I kept pushing through because of my love and respect for Brandon Sanderson in the past. He is probably not my favorite author, but he has got to be top 3 or 5 for me. And it's mainly because I didn't love that last book as much as I should have. But I think it was mainly because I had forgotten so much of what had happened. So I needed like a Spark Notes or something of the last 4 books that could remind me of everything that was going on. That would be a book of itself just to keep up with the storylines. Holy moly. But yeah, 4 times, crazy. That is way too much. I need to read more, to be honest. A good read, something that just reminded me, Katie, and your husband probably knows already, but Patrick Rothfuss, I hate to recommend this, but I just want to bring this up. The Kingkiller Chronicles. Can we talk about this guy wrote the first 2 books of a trilogy that may be, I'm not even facetiously, may be one of the greatest fantasy trilogies of all time, at least the first 2 books. And he released the second book like 15 years ago. And he has not written that 3rd book. And I want to strangle the man. He probably gets all kind of hate already. So sorry, Patrick. But man, if it wasn't so good, I wouldn't be so irritated. I don't know if he just doesn't know how to finish it or what. Somebody's talking about the Dispy Krillies. And that is one of my favorite things. Oh, Erica, how to scroll up. Pickle video is great. Thank you. Got the Dispy Krillies heading my way from Amazon. Those are so good. Those are legitimately so good. I try to be, and we ham things up. We ham things up every now and again. Not always. I'm the I hate to say the most honest. That's not right. I'm the most reserved on my reactions to things, but I want you guys to know that for the most part, like this is my genuine thoughts on these items. And those crispy dillies were fire. We finished that video, and I finished that bag right away because Brandon doesn't feed me. Alrighty, Easy BD. If I do anything, I want to do calisthenics because they look so cool doing human flags and handstand push-ups. Here's my argument to you, Easy BD. A, do whatever you want. I think any kind of movement and exercise is better than nothing. I think strength, and you've got to be strong to do a flag pole deal. So I'm not saying those guys aren't strong, but overall strength is should be the goal over physique, over basically anything else. It is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tell of a good life, physical life and a long life. My goal for my life is to be able to do things, and then at the end of my life, a short drop off to death, which sounds bad. But what I don't want is to be weak and not be able to get off the toilet and live in this weird limbo life where I can hardly do anything for 10 years at the end of my life. That is not the goal for me. I want to be as strong as I can be and going into the end. Katie Geis, 65-hour audiobook hours or something. Yeah, crazy. Okay, we're back to Brandon Sanderson, the book 5. Wild. I read a lot of long books. That one was wild. It was too long. Alrighty. Cameron, you got to go? I was hoping to stick around longer, but I got to head off to college class. Hope to catch the next one, though. Good. I'm glad you came around, Cameron. Alrighty. Oh, big red curly hair. Oh, wait. I'm going to back up to Senior Spookfest here. I have read all the Celestine Prophecy. Very interesting theories on people and magic, sort of. Never heard of it. So is it, I'm talking just fantasy, or is it hey, this is we're looking into these things nonfiction style? Big red curly hair. Are we talking about how you had a twilight phase in your adult life? I was not an adult, so you take that back. I would have been 15. And this is a fun story because my sister is reading Twilight. This is before the movies or anything. This is just when the books were out. And all 4 of them were out, thank goodness. And she's like, hey, you should read these. I had no idea. And I'm being honest with you guys. I had no idea what they're about. I didn't know vampires or anything. And that, by the way, is maybe the best way to read good books. And I was like, I don't know about that. I don't know what it is, anything. She's like, Brandon read it and he loved it. I was like, well, if Brandon loved it, I will probably love it. And that is all I need. I did not cross-reference with Brandon, nothing. And I read the first one and I loved it. And I smoked through all those books in a couple weeks. I don't know how long it took, but it was fast. I would hardly sleep because I had to read them. And I was in high school, and it was a high school love story, and it was good. Okay, I want to go back and read them again just to have a thought on them again. And that might be a video. I don't know who's going to watch that video. Not me reading, but me talking about it. Maybe it's a live. That's a better live topic. So anyways, the books were good when I was 15 and 16 years old. I stand by that, and I don't know, fight me, I guess. The movies always sucked. I never liked the movies, although Brandon really did enjoy the movies, and he never read the books. So maybe there was some truth to that. Lion XV. Have you read any Discworld Terry Pratchett books? Terry Pratchett sounds very familiar, but I don't think so if I can't think of any. Easy BD, no, but Conan Doyle Sherlock is my favorite series of book. Yes. Have I read them all? How many were there? I think I've read like 7. They were good. Definitely written a while ago, so I wouldn't say my favorite, but they're good. Good choice. Senior Spookfest, my mom always talks about the Dragons of Fern as the best mythical series. I've not read a lot, but a little, and it's rather cool. Another one I've not heard of. Big red curly hair, would you rather fall in lava or get eaten by sharks from Ryland? Well, little Ryland. Oh, little boy. Gosh, that would be tough. I think it depends on how far of a fall it would be. I'd like it to be quick. I'm trying to think of the lava or the sharks, which would be quicker to die from. I feel like the sharks would take a while. I think the lava, it would be horrible. I think I might die of smoke inhalation first, depending on how fast I was hurtled towards the lava. Tracy Salgado, what kind of movies do you like? I am not a big movie guy. You know what my main thing that I watch is YouTube. It has always been YouTube. Not always. It is for a very long time. I like watching stuff on YouTube. But if I was to pick movies that I like, I already talked about Moneyball. It is so good. That, by the way, is a book written by somebody that is not going to come to mind now. Gall darn. Michael. That's going to frustrate me. Moneyball was super good. I love those kind of things in books or in movies. If you don't know what Moneyball is, basically this is a true story of how they reworked how baseball players were getting bought. They historically were being bought by these scouts would go out and pick people basically on how good they felt about them. It was all very much feeling. And then they broke the game of baseball down to math. And I'm sure someone who enjoys baseball would have a different outlook on this, but my understanding of the movie and the book. And the Oakland A's started buying really good players at a discount because they threw the ball funny or they walked to first base more than they hit, but it didn't matter because they got to first base. I tell you all of that to say I love when people find a different way of doing things and the story of that and pushing through, because you get so much pushback. If you find a better way to do stuff, even if it's obviously better, and this one wasn't at first, it was not obvious, but even if it is an obviously better way, you get pushback from the norm is what people want to return to. And so watching people who are willing to push back against the norm is super, super impressive for me. So Moneyball's really good. I'm trying to think of a movie I really love. Oh man, Thursday. I think it's called Tuesday. I'm going to stick with Tuesday. My final answer, Tuesday. I just recently watched again on a plane. I loved it. I recommended it to a lot of people. I said, this is the best movie I've watched in at least the last year. So good. It is Jean, what's her name? Jeanette Louis Dreyfus. Jean, what's her first name? The person who plays Elaine on Seinfeld. Louis Dreyfus. What's her first name? God darn. That's going to bother me too. I have brain farts. Anyways, is in it, just so you know. But Death is a parrot, and not a parent, a bird parrot, and goes around, and it is not really a comedy. You could call it a dark comedy, I guess, because there are definitely funny parts where I laughed out loud. But Elaine, whatever her name is in the movie, her daughter has a terminal illness, and Death comes, and the daughter starts telling a story and kind of distracts Death, and then the story goes from there. I don't want to ruin it. I thought it was excellent. Everybody in my family seemed to think it was weird. Why is Death a parrot? I would watch with my mom and my wife, and I was like, don't worry. It's like a representation of death. And they're like, I just don't understand why Death is a parrot. They couldn't move past this, you know? I don't know if Mom is still here. Julia Louise-Dreyfus. Julia Louise-Dreyfus. Thank you, Mom. You couldn't get past Death was a Parrot. It's a metaphor, people. They gotta watch the whole movie. It was good. It was emotional. I don't know where you can watch it. I watched it in airlines. I'm sure it's free somewhere. It's like a small movie. I don't know. I never heard of it anywhere else. I've never seen any trailers or anything for it. But anyways, that's a good one recently. Big Red Curly Hair is Team Jacob. Gross. Edward all the way. Big Red Curly Hair. Again, favorite movie between The Great Escape or The Count of Monte Cristo. Count of Monte Cristo. A new one came out. Did you watch it? I have not. Easy BD, Sherlock is about 5 full-length stories and 20-ish short stories. Okay, I thought it wasn't that many. I think I have read all the full-length ones. I think I had a collection of them at one time. The Benedict Cumberbatch, the BBC's Sherlock Holmes with Benedict Cumberbatch is the best I've seen. Really, really loved that one. Tracy Salgado, I'm going to check them out. Good. You should. Tuesday's awesome. And Moneyball. And if you like Moneyball, The Big Short is also an excellent one, written by the same guy, Michael Lewis. Haha. The guy who wrote, if you've watched The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock, another true story that was adapted into a movie from a book. Michael Lewis wrote The Blind Side, the book. He wrote Moneyball, and he wrote The Big Short. They're all good movies, in fact, and they're great books. Although The Big Short, I don't know, if you don't like reading, I did have a friend who read The Big Short, and he's like, I still don't understand what credit default swaps are. But then he watched the movie. He says, this is the only time that I have enjoyed the movie more than the book. So maybe you should just watch The Big Short. Senior Spookfest, my favorite short movie or shows are Secret Level, amazing animation from the guys who made Death, Love, and Robots. Then all horror stuff, of course. LOL, Cabinets of Curiosity, amazing. So I did watch Secret Level. I liked about 3 of them. I really liked about 3 of them, and the other ones were just okay. I really liked the Armored Core one with Keanu Reeves. I am such a Keanu Reeves fan. Here's my thing. I don't think Keanu Reeves is that good of an actor. But I think that he has become like he seems like a really good person, and it just makes me like him more and more. And I don't want to put anybody on a pedestal, especially Hollywood people, because, or YouTubers, because then eventually they must fall. They do something you don't like or whatever. So I try not to think about either way, good or bad, but I do like Keanu Reeves so much. And then the first one, the Dungeons and Dragons one, which have you guys watched the new Dungeons and Dragons movie? I've heard it's really good. Chris Pine in there. Haven't watched it yet. I think we will watch that soon. Mom, the weirdest movie ever. You didn't even finish. You got like a third of the way through. Don't listen to her. Tuesday. It's awesome. Senior Spookfest. If you've not seen those, must watch. Amazing stuff. Now it's just a big family thing here. Sister and mom. Hi, Cammy. Hello. Another question from Big Red Curly Hair. Here we go again. Would you rather have mind power or strength from Ryland? What's mind power? Clarify what mind power is, and I'll answer. But probably strength. Well, if it was just like being really smart. If I was really smart, you would understand that being really strong is important. So then you'd have both. Tracy, you've seen Blindside, but not the other two. Well, if you like Blindside, they are different. But it's kind of I don't know about Blindside. I haven't seen it long enough, but at least Moneyball and The Big Short. That's another one I watch a ton of. Oh, how have I not talked about? Okay, calm down. It's about people doing things different in a better way and people pushing back against that and people finding it. Anyways, it's the people that are willing to buck the norm that are so impressive because it is hard to do. And if you think it's easy, it's because you've not tried it or you're one of those special people that it doesn't bother you. But it takes a lot of confidence to do things differently than everybody else. So Tracy, it's motivating for me at least. Pointing at you. I forgot what got my mind. Oh yeah. Oh brother, where art thou? I don't. It's hard to pick my favorite movie, but that's top 5. Top 5 for sure. Maybe top 3. Maybe top 1. I don't know. Oh brother, where art thou? I've watched a million times. It is good every time. I'm never tired of it. Another good series that I could watch over and over is The Bourne Supremacy or Bourne Identity, whatever the other one's called, and Supremacy. That trilogy was really dope. I could watch that over and over for sure as well. It's so good. Senior Spookfest getting in with some good either or questions as well. Would you rather be like Aquaman or like the Flash? The Flash. Flash is way overpowered. He's got time force or whatever it's called on his side. I was just listening to a conversation about this today. One of the podcasts I was listening to, somebody was asking. The Flash is like, I don't know how you could ever beat him. He's the fastest, you can't catch him. Like what? Even if he can't beat you, at least he's gonna live. I don't know. He can't stop you maybe if you're not strong enough. But the Flash, he's got to be super strong too. Okay, being super smart or super strong. Again, I think I would be super smart. I mean, I basically already am super smart. And then I would be smart enough to know that you got to be super strong. All right, anyways, guys, I'm going to wind this one down. This has been fun, but I must get going to my next thing, which maybe I'll talk about someday. If you guys want to hear where your poop goes once it leaves the house, I am more than happy to talk an hour about that. And you think I'm joking? But I'm not. But anyways, it was so fun, guys. I will see you in 10 years or 1 week.